Hey guys, welcome to Mooloolaba Music. My name is Ben and I am the woodwind specialist here at Mooloolaba Music. Today we've got something really interesting to look at. This is the NUX NES-1. What we have here is a plastic digital sax with all the buttons exactly where you'd expect them to be. So we've got our normal buttons for our left hand and normal buttons for the right hand. You've even got a thumb hook and a neck strap hook. Everything's kind of where you'd expect it. You've even got a reed, which here is plastic, and an octave button. We've actually got three of them. So we've got an octave up, two octave up, and an octave down button. This is really cool, and you've got a pitch modulation wheel at the back. So this instrument actually plays pretty much like you expect it to as a sax player. So saxophone players can literally just pick this up and play. But I believe this is really designed more for the beginner to intermediate market, for people starting to play. The button layout is very friendly, sits really nicely under your fingers, and you can play it very quietly or loud. Picking up the instrument, straight away we can play out of the built-in speakers, or we can plug it into an amp and play through an amp. Now the nice thing is the instrument actually comes with this wireless module, so we can plug this straight into an amplifier without having to run any cables. You of course have a physical output jack and a 3.5mm headphone jack for your own monitoring. But this wireless module is quite nice. On the side here, while we're on this panel, we've also got a USB-C connection, and this is for charging the instrument, and it's also for MIDI output. So if you've got a MIDI converter, USB-C to MIDI, you're able to have access to all the plethora of sounds that MIDI can provide. Coming up to the top here with the mouthpiece and your reed, you're able to actually control your pitch modulation with your reed. So by squeezing on the mouthpiece, you can have a very natural effect. If you want to add vibrato or anything like that, you know. On the back of the instrument where we have all of our controls. So this will show us what instrument we've selected, and there's 50 different sounds to choose from. But then we can actually dive into further controls, such as your reverb levels. So we can add some reverb. We can change our breath curve. We can change our bite control. We can change our pitch bend, our MIDI. We can have our different transpose settings, brightness, sensitivity, all sorts of settings here. And you can even change the fingering mode into a trumpet mode, which is pretty cool. This instrument has a bank of 50 professionally recorded instruments. It's really interesting. So we've got saxophones. Uh, we've got clarinet. Bassoon, maybe. It's interesting. Flute. Uh, Trumpet, and you've even got a muted trumpet. Yeah, we've got trombones, tubas, brass sections, violins, all sorts of synths, and then a bunch of really interesting oriental instruments, like this wind instrument. I'm not even going to try and pronounce it. Or this one. Really cool different sounds. And I just noticed as we change the instrument patch, there's a display up here that faces the player that actually changes the number. So it's really easy to keep track of what sound we're playing. If you're curious about this digital wind instrument, head on down to Mooloolaba Music. Myself or any of the friendly team would be happy to have a chat to you about this really interesting device. Don't forget to like and subscribe. My name's Ben. I'll see you soon.